part of my answer or no?
Nah, as soon as you're about to explain, you went out.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, the prostate gland is a gland that is important in reproduction for men. So, it's a gland that's responsible for the fluid that sperm travels in, and pretty much allows a lubricant and a fluid for sperm, a fluid medium for sperm to travel through, obviously to fertilize the egg and result in pregnancy. So
Gotcha, gotcha.
that's what prostate gland is. That's why it's an important, I guess, part of the male body. And
Oh,
only men have prostate glands, obviously. But that's one thing that, I think we should always like, mention, because like, people hear about different types of cancers, and there's certain cancers that are specific to females and certain cancers that are specific to men, which is why when I mention prostate cancer in black men, I only mention men because it's cancer specific to men.
got you, got you. And why is that important in the black community? You know, as black men, that's one of the checkups we do not want to
Yeah.
uh, go. That colon checkups,
Yeah.
prostate,
Yeah.
um, anything dealing,
So
anything, well, anything for that. You
he
know,
said,
we
he
just
said
do
from
not
below the neck.
right below the neck or below the chest, anything below
Yeah.
that area. You know, we don't like
Yeah.
people messing around down there in any kind of way.
Yeah.
You know,
So, a few things, right? So, one thing that's important to mention is that, like I said, prostate cancer is the most prevalent and the most lethal cancer in black men, right? There are a lot of the cancer disparities are real. Disease disparities are real. We can see now that, COVID affects the black community or different communities more so than other things. Cancers, disease disparities are real. And I won't get into the reasons why. Like, there's obviously a component of genetics. There's probably education, access to healthcare. There are a lot of different things, right? Timely healthcare. So I won't get into why, but the fact of the matter is, like, those are the facts. Like, there are disparities that exist. So the first thing that we have to do as black men and black people is make sure we're doing our part to prevent ourselves from becoming susceptible to these diseases, right? It's important to get uh, you know, a prostate exam, and it's not even a prostate exam that you need. The first thing that you do, kind of what I mentioned, is that you can get a blood test, right? And everyone, when you go to like, your checkups, your annual checkups or whatever, and they do blood work, or whenever you do blood work, right? And for men, usually after the age of 40, they check like, your PSA levels. Like they really focus on your PSA levels. And PSA it means prostate specific antigen. So it's something that's detectable that comes only from your prostate cells. And if it's high, that means you have excess. Well, you could have excess prostate cells, and it makes them do further analysis, right? So the first thing is like, even if you just stay current with your blood work, you can get a gauge of if your prostate cells are, of normal numbers, right? That's the first thing a lot of people don't know. Like, when we think of a prostate exam, everyone thinks like, what they call a digital rectal exam. And it's when like, they they have to physically touch the prostate through the rectum to feel for any abnormalities. But that is a second step to when they identify, okay, either like you have symptoms of something like um uh different